On the morning of October 26, 2007, shoppers at Dubai's Wafi Mall watched two Audi S8s pull up to the main entrance. The cars didn't park. They drove straight through the glass doors and accelerated down the marble corridors toward a Graff Diamonds boutique. 8 men piled out of the vehicles. To the moment they vanished into Dubai traffic, exactly 45 seconds had passed. The operatives in those Audis belonged to a highly coordinated, decentralized network known as the Pink Panthers. To see their scope, look at this map tracking their activity. Over 2 decades, they executed more than 340 robberies across 35 countries. The total value of the uncut gems and luxury watches seized currently sits at $500 million. They have no centralized headquarters and no godfather calling the shots. Yet, they managed to routinely bypass the tightest security systems on Earth and walk away with hundreds of millions in untraceable assets, while global authorities fail to stop them. In the 1990s, Yugoslavia collapsed into a series of bloody conflicts. The Bosnian War and the Croatian War of Independence produced a massive population of displaced, unemployed young men. Crucially, many of these men had served in Serbian special forces and various paramilitary units. When the fighting ended, international sanctions strangled the formal economy. These veterans took their elite military training, specifically their expertise in reconnaissance and border evasion, and applied it directly to the criminal underworld. Their heists run on military doctrine. Months before a robbery, a designated scout maps the target. They log guard shift changes, plot out every camera blind spot, and establish exact exit routes, running the preparation like a Special Forces intelligence gathering mission. When the entry team moves in, they rely on deep disguises and psychological control. Operatives have hit Paris boutiques dressed in women's clothing or posed as construction workers for weeks to blend in. They use overwhelming speed to paralyze the store staff, securing the floor with flex ties and tear gas. They carry handguns, but they almost never fire them. That disciplined background strips the panic out of the process. They don't react to alarms. They execute a rehearsed sequence that keeps the entire operation under 3 minutes. Stealing the diamonds is only the first phase. Stolen cash can be tracked by serial numbers, but diamonds are highly portable, and the Pink Panthers have built an entire logistics network specifically to make that physical evidence vanish. Within hours of a heist, the stones are handed off to couriers. These couriers travel on authentic passports, blending into the diaspora, the communities of former Yugoslav nationals now living across Western Europe. They carry the raw stones back across borders to safe houses in the Balkans. After a cooling-off period, the diamonds are reintroduced into the legitimate market. The destination is usually right here, the diamond trading district in Antwerp, Belgium. Roughly 80% of all global diamonds pass through these few streets, providing the volume needed to hide a few stolen stones. Once in Antwerp, specialists cut down the stones. Every raw diamond has a unique forensic identity based on its facet pattern, the specific geometric arrangement of flat surfaces cut into the stone. The physical cutting process destroys those markers. A massive, identifiable gem becomes dozens of smaller, generic stones. By the time police know what to look for, the specific diamond they are hunting no longer exists. The pipeline has converted traceable evidence into clean, liquid cash. In May 2003, 2 men walked into Graff Diamonds in London, smashed the displays, and escaped with $30 million in gems. When French police caught an operative, they searched his girlfriend's handbag and found a $500,000 blue diamond concealed in a jar of face cream. Scotland Yard recognized the trick from the 1975 film, The Return of the Pink Panther. Interpol officially adopted the nickname, and the brand was born. Interpol established a dedicated international task force called Operation Pandora to hunt them down. Over the next decade, police from 16 countries shared fingerprints and DNA, arresting over 50 operatives. Yet, the robberies continued. This compares traditional law enforcement, a rigid pyramid, to the Pink Panthers' autonomous cells. Because they operate independently, capturing one team provides zero intelligence. An arrested cell in Paris knows nothing about a strike in Tokyo. The network simply reroutes. Global law enforcement is designed to dismantle organized crime by cutting the head off a snake. The Panthers engineered a system with no head to cut off. Even when authorities secure a conviction, the walls rarely hold them. In 2013, accomplices breached the perimeter of a Swiss prison using ladders and AK-47s to break out a convicted Panther. These extractions send a clear message to law enforcement. Imprisonment is often temporary. The network is still highly active. In June 2022, a team in flat caps and suits walked into the prestigious TEFAF Maastricht Art Fair. They shattered the display cases with a sledgehammer, grabbed $25 million in jewels, and fled on electric scooters. These operations have forced the luxury industry to overhaul its security protocols. Boutiques that used to rely on discreet guards now employ armed security, and insurance premiums for jewelers have risen worldwide to cover the continuous losses. Despite 20 years of intensive investigations and dozens of arrests, the vast majority of that $500 million in stolen gems remains completely unaccounted for. The Pink Panthers have built an autonomous self-replenishing system that absorbs arrests, adapts to modern security, and leaves global authorities chasing ghosts.